Hello OPEX, this is David O'Brien with my transition to design video for my client Ayad Haddad for my CCP final project. First, my long-term plan was accumulation across the board, as Ayad was still classed as a beginner in my eyes in regards to adaptation currency. As he was not consistent in his training over the last 5 years, although he had a training age 4 or 5 years. He had periods of being consistent and then long periods of not being consistent or not training at all. So he recently came off a inconsistent period, so I know some detraining had occurred. So for my long-term plan to get some consistency, just accumulation across the board. And that would be reflected in my short-term plan as well. So my short-term plan, we went with an upper and lower body split. Monday was lower, Tuesday upper. Wednesday map 60 cycling because he enjoys cycling. Thursday lower, Friday upper, and map 60 walking and cycling on Saturday and Sundays, as he had wanted some activity every day. This also allowed us to hit the same muscle group twice per week, so we can balance out the volume across the sessions to get enough stimulating sets per muscle group per week with enough recovery in between sessions. Because his main goal was improve body composition and to improve strength, I wanted to have a frequency of twice per week as well. And the lower and upper body split allows us to do that and get our 10 to 20 stimulating sets per muscle group per week. Why I prescribed what I did in lifestyle and exercise. So in lifestyle, I prescribed what I did based off the limitations found in the consultation. Ayad's goal of improved body composition and strength requires good sleep hygiene, recovery practices like movement, sunlight exposure, the right amount of calories and macros, correct nutrient timing, as well as a progressive resistance training program. Because what he was doing was just CrossFit. With a number of limitations in these, I prescribed what I felt would move Ayad towards a greater body composition. And get him out of CrossFit classes and doing more structured progressive resistance training. The prescription of a MAP 60 cycling walking on recovery days was to ensure increased time in daylight, to increase vitamin D intake, blood flow, movement time, assist with circadian rhythm, sleep quality and reduction in stress, as well as the health and caloric expenditure benefits of consistent daily movement outdoors. I did have an office job where he was sitting in a chair all day, so getting time outdoors was a big lifestyle limitation and a positive change to make. For exercise, I chose to focus on the priorities that still fit into the goal of increasing body composition and working within his mobility, stability and movement pattern limitations. For example, I didn't do many active straight leg raise exercises because his main goal was to maximize body composition improvements, so I didn't want to waste time or exercise selection on that. I just made sure we didn't pull from the floor and we hinged from the hang position or in supported positions. So on lower body days, I focused on glute focused exercises as per priorities, hamstring dominant and single leg variations. No pulling from the floor, and you had very tight hamstrings as per the assessment and priorities. On upper body days, we focused on movements that I felt that we could load safely over the month, as Ayad showed a potential T-spine limitation in the air squat. So I decided to use back-supported pressing movements where possible, and single arm pushing and pulling at least one per session, as per assessment and priorities as well. Specifically, the lack of internal rotation on one side on the scratch test, and scapular winging and lack of scapular stability. Any additional noticings and notes. I did notice that Ayad's stress tolerance was low when he mentioned more than once that he does not have the patience at times and can get stressed easily. For me, the lifestyle prescriptions of improved sleep, mindful practices like wind down time with meditations, time outdoors would help with this a lot. With his recovery and also with the mental health benefits of more time spent in a parasympathetic nervous system state rather than a sympathetic nervous system state, which is what he could have been experiencing and which is why he could have been less patient and easily stressed, let's say. That is it, guys. I hope that is good enough, and see you soon.